That was the funny thing about heroes. You didn't save lives for praise, but somewhere deep down, you still expected a thank you, a medal, a handshake, at the very least, a relieved smile. What he did not expect was silence. The alien transport drifted helplessly near the edge of the Karsus Rift, its engines fried by ion storms and pirate fire. Aaron's ship, the Wayfarer, had been running low on fuel and patience when his sensors picked up the distress signal. He almost ignored it. Almost. Life signs, his AI asked. Dozens, Aaron replied, already turning the ship around. Mostly non-human. The pirates were gone by the time he arrived. Cowards always ran when something bigger showed up. Aaron docked, cut through fused bulkheads, and guided the survivors, tall, luminous-skinned beings with elongated limbs and shimmering eyes, onto his ship. They moved like they were afraid of him. That's new, Aaron muttered. When the last survivor crossed over, the alien captain stepped forward. She was taller than Aaron by a head, her presence calm but piercing. Decorative bands of light pulsed faintly along her neck and temples, symbols of authority, maybe. I am Lysentha of the Aurelian Accord, she said, her voice musical but restrained. You have intervened where none were expected. Aaron grinned, exhausted.
Yeah, well,
that's kind of our thing. She studied him for a long moment. You risked your vessel for strangers, Lysentha said. Why? Aaron shrugged. Because it was the right thing to do. The alien murmurs around her stilled. Then, she said slowly, you have involved yourself in matters far larger than gratitude. That should have been his warning. Middle. The offer no human should accept. The Aurelian Accord were not refugees. They were fugitives. Aaron learned that as his ship crossed into neutral space, escorted now by sleek Aurelian vessels that seemed to materialize from nowhere. The survivors he rescued were members of a ruling caste, genetic stewards of a civilization that had mastered energy manipulation, probability modeling, and something far more unsettling. Prediction. We can see branching futures, Lysentha explained as they sat in the Wayfarer's observation deck. Not certainties. Possibilities. Aaron frowned. So, fortune tellers? Her eyes shimmered with faint amusement. So, survivors. She told him the truth. The Aurelian Accord had foreseen their own extinction. Not by natural disaster, not by war, but by humanity. In over 80% of projected futures, Lysentha said, your species becomes the dominant force in the galaxy. Aaron laughed. You've got the wrong humans. You underestimate yourselves, she replied. You adapt faster than any species we have recorded. You form alliances with former enemies. You innovate under pressure. And when cornered, you become terrifying. He didn't like the way she said that last word. So you're afraid of us? Aaron asked. Yes, Lysentha answered honestly. And also hopeful. That was worse. The Aurelian leadership had split. One faction wanted humanity erased before it reached critical mass. Another wanted containment. Lysentha belonged to a third, far smaller group. They wanted partnership. And what does that have to do with me? Aaron asked. Lysentha met his gaze. You were not meant to be there, she said. Your rescue was statistically insignificant. Aaron's stomach dropped. But you chose to act anyway, she continued. That decision altered multiple probability streams. She raised a slender hand. A holographic lattice formed in the air, branching futures, collapsing and reforming. In many outcomes, Lysentha said, humanity becomes a conqueror. In others, a guardian. The difference hinges on influence. Aaron shook his head. You want me to be an ambassador? No, she said softly. I want you to be something far more dangerous. She leaned closer. I want you to help us change humanity's future. The dangerous truth. Aaron spent the next several days aboard the Aurelian flagship. He learned things no human should know. That the galaxy was older, crueler, and more fragile than Earth's scientists ever imagined. That ancient civilizations rose not on strength alone, but on narrative, on the stories they told themselves about who they were. The Aurelian fell because we believed ourselves superior, Lysanthus said one night. We optimized compassion out of our decisions. She showed him projections of possible futures. Human fleets enforcing peace through overwhelming force. Human AIs determining which species were inefficient. Human empires justifying domination as protection. Aaron felt sick. That's not us, he said weakly. It could be, Lysantha replied. And that is why you matter. Her offer was simple, terrifyingly simple. She would give humanity access to Aurelian foresight technology, not enough to see everything, but enough to learn, to understand consequence before catastrophe. In return, Aaron would become a catalyst, a symbol, proof that humans could be trusted with dangerous knowledge. And if we misuse it? Aaron asked. Lysantha's expression hardened. Then humanity becomes the threat every civilization fears. Aaron expected coercion. Instead, she offered him a choice. No reward, she said. No protection. Only responsibility. Aaron thought about Earth. About the smallness of one ship against the vastness of space. About how easily power corrupted. This isn't gratitude, he said quietly. No, Lysantha agreed. This is faith. He almost refused. Almost. The breaking point. The attack came before he decided. A coalition fleet, old enemies of the Aurelian, emerged from hyperspace, weapons charged. They had tracked the refugees. They intended to finish the extinction. The Aurelian ships maneuvered defensively, but they were outnumbered. Human vessel, a hostile commander broadcast. Withdraw. This does not concern you. Aaron stared at the tactical display. Lysanthus stood beside him, silent. He could leave. No one would blame him. Instead, Aaron did what humans always did when logic said retreat. He stayed. Wayfarer, he said, voice steady. Redirect all power to shields. Broadcast on all frequencies. Message, the AI asked. Aaron smiled grimly. That's the dangerous part. He transmitted everything. The distress call. The rescue. The truth about the Aurelian. The coming futures. The offer. He told the galaxy exactly what was at stake. Humans don't know what will become yet, Aaron said over open comms. But if you're going to judge us, do it after you see what we choose now. The battlefield froze. Some ships powered down. Others hesitated. Then, unexpectedly, human vessels arrived. Cargo ships. Patrol craft. Old military relics. Humanity had heard the call. The coalition retreated. Not because they were defeated, but because the future had shifted. Ending. The most dangerous gift. Aaron never returned to a quiet life. The Aurelian Accord revealed themselves to humanity, not as gods or prophets, but as partners burdened by foresight. Together, they established the Continuum Initiative, a joint effort to model futures, prevent extinction-level mistakes, and guide expansion without erasure. It wasn't perfect. There were wars, failures, betrayals. But humanity changed. Not because we were controlled, because we were aware. Aaron became something history struggled to define. Not a hero, not a ruler, a reminder. Lysantha once asked him if he regretted accepting her offer. Aaron looked out at a sky filled with ships from a dozen species, trading instead of fighting. No, he said. But I get it now.